Okay, this is Travis Wayne Goodsell, and it's raining now, and I decided I'm just going to take a nap. Because after my run this morning, I was all hot and sweaty, and so I needed to cool off, and so that's why I only take in liquids after a run. I don't rush to my breakfast, because that would be stupid. I learned as a little kid, I don't like throwing up. I don't want to throw up. How do I prevent myself from throwing up? So yes, I've been exceedingly healthy since then, so I don't get myself sick to the point of throwing up anymore, and yeah, I don't induce throwing up anymore, or I don't, well, I've never done that. It was when I got sick. Oh man, was that a nightmare. But no, I don't have some eating disorder where I think I need to be thin so that I'll throw up and therefore I'll automatically be thin. No, that's not good thinking. But I do see on YouTube, as I'm about to get to the count, we have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday left. 3 more days, guys. We can make it. We've already exposed that it's Russians doing the thumbs down, that Mormons are hiding, tucking their tails between their legs in shame, and so, yeah. But I noticed the Twilight Zone, their premiere episode, is on CBS All Access on YouTube. So that was nice of them. That was intense. The second one they showed on the 31st. They were supposed to do it on the 1st, so they jumped the gun and made it Sunday nights instead of Monday. So I was going Monday, or actually Tuesday, because of Magnum PI. And when I went to go check Magnum PI, I went, oh yeah, Twilight Zone, 31st. And so, yeah, I don't know what they were doing there, messing up their schedule thing, but yeah, it was good, but it was weird. So yeah, but the second one was just weird, and it was only 35 minutes long, so that was weird. So I don't know, they're gonna have to work hard to meet Rod Sterling's originals, even though they were black and white and it was old school stuff, you know, the days of Alfred Hitchcock. It's going to take some work to equal his quality, and so yeah, but good to see them making the effort though. So, and of course exclusively on CBS All Access, like the Star Trek Discovery is. So, I mean, $10 a month is worth it to have no commercials, especially when it's just a couple dollars more from the other price where you get commercials. So, alright, let's sign in. And no additional comments since my comment reviews this morning. And there's John Oliver's show with the WWE wrestler that nobody likes, and yet I'm still seeing advertisements for WrestleMania this Sunday after conference about that guy being the advertiser for it. Oh, Vince, for being as brilliant as you were, you're losing your step. The people have spoken. So, yeah, you killed off Roddy Piper, you bastard. That was my favorite. Obviously, because he's an Irish bagpiper. And when's my birthday? On St. Patty's Day. You know, I have probably 134th, 168th, 164, whatever the percentages are, of Irish in me. I'm mostly Welsh. And so, even though they say from England, it's actually Welsh ancestry in me. The Druids. Smith's no longer accepting. Oh, yep, that's today, the 3rd. So yeah, Visa was screwing over Smith's, Kroger, and so the owner said, okay, screw you. We're no longer accepting customers' Visa cards. So Visa's going to take a plunge in sales revenue, and people are going to be forced to use their Master, Discover, whatever other cards, bank cards can be used, I guess, which is strange because I asked, because there's a feature on the debit card machine when you put in your debit card, you can do it as a credit or as a debit, and I always do it as the credit. So I asked, and they said, yeah, the debit cards, no, it's a different process, so it's not considered similar to the credit card. So okay, but now I have to make sure that I budget my money appropriately on the right card when I go grocery shopping. Okay. And then the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has put out yesterday, what happens after we die? You burn in hell because we fooled you. So we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I did the clip of the comments with the Mormon God de-evolution. And apparently you spell it like the French. You don't have two E's, so it's not de-evolution, it's devolution. So I was able to fix the situation. So okay, it's catching some attention. It's showing 13 on the home page, and then 16, and then there's 1 thumbs down. I like worshiping Lucifer. I'm sad we changed to the Christian Trinity God. Dumb Mormons. Okay. Alrighty. So yes, I'm going to include that picture at the beginning of all my Mormon videos now. It missed the cut, the latest cut of my update for the clips, which is closing in on 2 minutes now. So, yeah, I'll show that at the beginning. Alright, down, down, down we go. Into the depths of the blackest of hate. There we go. Alright, let's get my notepad out. Yep, there's the de-evolution. I can actually do a video on the de-evolution. So I can go over the whole thing, talking about the Mormon, or Joseph Smith's Amen God, Brigham Young's Adam Lucifer God, and the now modern Christian God that they've been trying desperately to be accepted among Christians. They need peer pressure to motivate them into popularity. It's like they don't even care about the scriptures anymore. They don't care that they're not supposed to pursue the wisdom of the world, the philosophies of men, the evil Christian and Jewish and Hindu and Islamic churches that Jesus himself disapproved of in the first vision. Alright, so here we go. Oh, there was one. Oh yeah, I remember talking about that the other day. Okay. And then if you remember the comments, there was one hater who hates humanity and wants Trump to kill people by shutting down the border. So yes, I woke up to Nadler announcing that he had the Judiciary Committee and approved the go-ahead for subpoenas. And so wait for it, unless I have humiliated Trump and catching him, because I've been spreading it around also that I'm the one who tripped Trump up with the oranges. I mean, you guys don't know because you don't go to political videos of mine, but my website sure caught on. And sure enough, so did Trump, because later that day he was talking about it and in the connection with the Mueller report. Yep. 21. So move over, Fox and Friends. Trump has a new show. It's me. 32. Now we just need the presidents and prophets of the church to pay likewise attention. They're not. They're going to continue to ignore that I ever exist. They're going to press forward, saints, which is my third great uncle's song. Press on in the work of the Lord. I feel that we gain the reward in the fight for right. In the glorious cause of truth. Fear not, courage though the enemy deride. Yeah, the guy who started the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. That's my third great uncle. Yep. And he's the one that ended up marrying his cousin. Yeah, because she was his maid, cleaning up after him. Because that was the way that was back then. Guys weren't capable of cleaning, and girls weren't capable of making money. Not that they weren't capable, it's just that they were denied. So guys really were the losers back then. Oh, I can't work. I don't know how to sweep a broom. That's woman's work. And don't get me near those diapers. Oh, wait, we don't have diapers back here, do we? We only have cloth stuff. And lakes. There's Nicole. And then here's the difference between the two Masonic orders. If you're gonna attack the church for being Masonic, make sure you get the right Masonic order. Brigham Young was Scottish Rites, which was the 33-degree Masons. The Smiths were the York Rites, which were only 12. So make sure you get your information correct before you argue a point. And yes, The Joseph Smith Lodge in Nauvoo was also a Yorkite. The Grand Master was of the Yorkite Lodge. And so what Brigham Young did was try to reestablish the Scottish rites. And he sort of left a lot of stuff out. And I don't understand why the Freemasons had that disagreement here in Utah until Kimball united them back together again. You know, yes, there were handshakes and stuff, but for the most part, it's completely different. Brigham Young kept it religious and just utilized some of the symbolism. And so maybe it's just because the Freemasons didn't bother to become members and they were just going off of what they were hearing, which is likely. So, alright, part 5. A test, it's here. Speaking of Scottish Rites Freemasons, it's Heber C. Kimball, a Scottish Rites Freemason, Master Mason even, from before joining the church, who gave the conference talk in Utah Valley under Brigham Young that said, a test is coming, and Mormons shall barely escape. He wasn't kidding. He knew what he was setting up, or what Brigham Young had set up. Interesting how the wicked actually can see the future. It's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? And so, yes, if any of you are familiar with the Illuminati, you come to take my soul. Let's see, 107. 108. Okay. There was Albert Pike, if you are familiar with the conspiracy, who went to the replacement of Adam Weishaupt and told him, hey, this is our plans to destroy the world. We'll have 3 world wars. World War I, it turned out exactly as they planned. World War II turned out exactly as they planned. World War III, not so much. They took too long to implement it. Too many people to mess things up. But they still got it figured out. And we've had the delay. But the delay, curiously, corresponds with John the Revelator's revelations. Isn't that coincidental? And so, yes, all you Christians who are out there who hate the Mormon Church, and therefore you're listening to my channel because you hate the Mormon Church and you love what I'm talking about them. Open your Bible, Revelation 13. Look over the beast. Compare it with Trump. You'll go, I've been fooled. Yes, you have. The talking image that speaketh blasphemies. The MAGA hat on the forehead. You know, it took me some time too, but amazing. So at least we know that Revelations has some legitimacy to it, even though it wasn't written by John. And even though the Catholic Church did not want it put in there because it's apocalyptic. We don't want apocalyptic literature. We are the kingdom. We don't need a future kingdom. We are the kingdom. I warned you guys, so we'll see if Trump now wants to counter, and you know he will. He will not be trumped by these subpoenas. He will insist getting back on top of the news cycle. So, let's see, it's 11:30. He should be getting up, is going to work already. He should be done with his executive time. Wait a minute, did I just do that one? Sure enough. Don't want to overcount. So the fascist Pisces has already been done. 70. And then we get into a whole bunch of 666s. People are curious about what Reed Hammond did to me. That's interesting. Of course, there are still a split mix on whether to like it. I'm sorry, he did it. You can't justify him doing it. Bishops are not above the law of the Lord. Period. Prophets are not above the law of the Lord. Period. So all this misinterpretation of President Benson's 17 things, which I did a video on, by the way, long time ago, in comparison, that's false. First of all, you would know it's false because Benson was not president of the church when he gave it. Second of all, he's now dead, which means, according to your thinking, he no longer is credible. You look to the new prophet. Never go up against a Sicilian when death is on the line. There's the comment replies where I had the dream. And the black hole movie dream was the closest character that I can find to correspond with my dream robot character thingy person. Because it's not quite like Iron Man. It's all red. So there was no shiny thing protecting his heart or here's the sixes. Okay. And so as we move closer to July, did you know that there's another eclipse coming for the southern hemisphere this time around? And so we're already witnessing the collapsing of the southern hemisphere countries, aren't we? Isn't that interesting? And so England is collapsing after their solar eclipse, and America is collapsing after their solar eclipse, and the Middle East is collapsing after their solar eclipse. Well, they haven't. Theirs is coming up. But that's a good many years away. Not too many, but I think it's after the 2024. I think it's 2032. I'd have to check that again, but yeah, Jerusalem is getting their eclipse. Okay, which one was I on? Was it Le Miserable? Yes. So, no, we need to make sure, because we're in the 6s, and so we should have. Okay, Iron Man is 6. That's 6. That's 6. Okay, there's 3 6s. There's 4 6s. And then 5 6s. Okay, so we've got 5 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 220. Alright. And pull this back up so we don't repeat the line. And there's 3. Okay. 223. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Mormons fighting naked, and I put David and Goliath on the cover photo, which is now a GIF video in my intro. 232. And I had somebody comment asking to put certain videos of mine in a playlist, and the thing is that when I first do the videos, I don't know if I'm gonna do series or get them into a specific category that's more specific than the generalized categories that I have them in, and so I won't know until after I do them, and I'm over 600 by now, I think, and so it's difficult to go back to 600 and put them in a playlist. It was tough enough trying to transfer my CreateSpace books to KDP Amazon. That was quite a handful. That was before they forced it, and when they forced it, it made it easy. You just transfer everything, and they do the whole files. The only problem is that my files are still under the old system, and so I need to go back through each one of them anyway and make it available everywhere that KDP offers. So, yeah, that's too big of a chore because I'm over 500 publications, and I think there were 300 that didn't make the cut from the previous time. And so, yeah, when I found the errors with KDP or Kindle, oh man, what a nightmare that was, because I was forced to go through all my Kindles and stop them. And I don't know if I got them all. Oh man, because they don't recognize ancient font. If I use PDF for the print, then yes, they recognize it. If I do Word for the print, they don't recognize it. So I have to do PDF for the print, and I have to do PDF for the Kindle, but the only problem is that the Kindle doesn't cooperate with the PDF, and chaos ensues. So I had to redo my Paleo Hebrew work, and I never got around to redoing the other work, the other languages. And so I had to use pictures of the ancient fonts. What a chore that was. 257. So yeah, as we were all afraid of, that elderly Utah Mormon was indeed a sex predator for decades. God. Then Mitt Romney, I never heard about the retirement bill. I guess it didn't pass. So I definitely haven't heard from him since I commented on that, I think on that video. I went right to his site and commented live on recording. Do not do it. That's Ivanka's bill. Stay away from it. So, yeah. I mean, Romney plays us for fools. That's all it is. He says, "Oh, I'm against Trump. He's not very good Mormon." But then he goes and has dinner with him to be the Secretary of State, you know, and would have gotten it had it not been for Russia saying, "No, we don't like Romney. We're having problems with Romney with our Marriott hotels here in Moscow." And him running for president and possibly interfering in our election. "You will choose Rex Tillerson. He's our guy. We just gave him a medal not too long ago. Choose him." And so Rex Tillerson became Secretary of State. And so then Romney votes to lift the sanctions against that oligarch's businesses who has been messing with the election here in America. Whose side are you on, Romney? And the only reason why I think he actually did it was because of the church. Remember, they want to put a temple in Russia, and they're going to need sanctions to be lifted against certain businesses that will make it happen for Putin. Now we see the bigger picture, don't we? Okay. Church has still not answered their LLC company money laundering. See, that's what Russia does. They get you criminally liable and vulnerable, so that if you don't comply, they will expose you as criminal. And so they say, "Oh, you want a temple? Hey, here's some money. Launder it for us." And then, yeah, oh, Mitt Romney? Oh, yeah, put him into the Senate so that he can lift the sanctions, being one of the votes, so that we can make this deal happen for you guys. It'll be a win-win situation. It was not his intentions when he wrote the book. You don't do criminal stuff. $305, and yet despite the lifting of the sanctions, Russia still hasn't done anything for the church yet, have they? Oh, but it's going to be announced in conference. If it does, you know that's exactly what happened. That Russia said, "Okay, launder the money for us, $32 billion. How does that sound?" And the church says, oh, okay, we'll do it. We just put in an apostle who's good at this stuff. Yes, we know. He's done work for us. So, and then you have Mitt Romney get voted into the Senate, and then he lifts the sanctions on the oligarchs' businesses who would allow for a building of a temple in Russia. So wait and see. You're going to hear an announcement. And if it's Moscow, that means the church did well for Russia. Did I get the 6? Yes. Caught again. Okay. We're almost getting close. That's why only 2 more days after this. But as you can see, I'm utilizing it for video information for you, so that you're not just bored going, oh, he's just counting. $316. Where are we at? Nope. 395 is where we're at. Okay. Okay, is it that one? 8, yes. This was the video where I messed up the count. Forgot a whole line. 2. 324. So I'm going to be glad when this is done, because we've already figured it out. Russia is putting the thumbs down, and the church are cowardly, and only the naive ones who don't get a clue on my other videos are the ones who are abusively commenting and have to be put in their place. But they're few and far between now. I have silenced the church. You've got a stupor of thought. You've gone mute. Wait a minute. That's what the Antichrist had happen to them. You're not supposed to be the Antichrist. It's supposed to be me. Oops. You just got busted. Good old Dusty. I hope she got married. She was a gymnast. And yeah, it's strange that I don't associate her with dusty blonde hair, which she does have. I associate her with the wrestler, Dusty Rhodes, which is not a good connection, but that's not how I do my memory things. So, yeah. At the bank that I go to, there's a Diana, and I saw her when she first started working there as the till cashier person, and a week or 2 ago I saw that she finally got promoted. She was behind a desk, so good for you, Diana. And of course I associate her with Princess Diana, not Princess Diana of England, but the Princess of the Amazons, Diana, because I had just barely watched Wonder Woman for the first time before going to the bank, and saw her and saw, oh, Diana, oh, and it's in my nature to get to know people by association, and I wanted to talk all about Wonder Woman, but I held off because she was new. Ah, there's a creepy old man talking about me. I never really liked Dusty Rhodes as a wrestler. He was, I guess he was a bad guy. I don't know. Vince McMahon goes back and forth, and good and bad and whatever. So, never really cared for him as a wrestler. He was just a fat slob. Which didn't make sense, because you'd have these little puny guys going up against giants, and huge fat giants. and yet the little guys tend to win. How is that possible, Vince? Who's writing your stories? Oh, right, you are. Oh, wait a minute, we don't want to do the view count as the thumbs down count. I could have written better stories for Vince. We would have had the Undertaker as the one ruling the WWE, even though he practically did for the fans. That's why he kept coming back, because he's huge fan support. Undertaker's awesome. His stage presence alone was good enough. He didn't need to wrestle. Just have his stage presence, his entry. That was enough. That was awesome. You know, screw the little palm bearer or whatever he is. I'm glad he got rid of him. I guess he died though. So that's in a sense sad, but palm bearer was a little creepy. Pall bearer or whatever. So yeah, the Undertaker does well on his own. Didn't need no pallbearer. But the whole monks carrying in or the crypt and all that stuff, that was awesome. So, and the fire. Ooh, fire! Yay! But you're Pisces, Travis. You're not supposed to like fire. You're supposed to like water. And doesn't it mean that if you like fire that you're a bedwetter? Nope. I stopped wetting the bed. I stopped wetting the bed before kindergarten. And only had the one accident in kindergarten. Or unless it was a dream where I wet the bed. I can't remember. Because it's strange that if you don't write down your dreams, then as decades go by, you're then wondering, now was that a dream or was that real? Because Beth, for example, in kindergarten, I can't remember for the life of me if that was real or if it was a dream. If it was a dream, why is a little kindergartner having a dream like that? And so it had to have been real. But, man, that was just awful. And it still haunts me to this day, but that's why I like Gwyneth Paltrow movies. Her earlier works. Now that she's the it girl, she hasn't been doing as much of the martyred woman movies. And so, yeah, those were awesome. But yeah, she went and did that Shakespeare in Love brilliance, and then she became the it girl, ruined her career. Country strong. Sounds like the mailman. Or it could be a backup in traffic now. Who knows? It's almost 10. What's he... 391. Okay. Hearkening unto their master Lucifer with Wonder Woman on the cover. So, yes, I will do a video probably today. I need to watch FBI. I'm losing interest in them. You know, at first it was cool because they'd have, you know, like car explosions and shootouts and stuff, but I'm not quite catching on. The Muslim character guy, you know, he's a badass, but he doesn't really have much of a character. He's kind of bland. And the female, she's always grumpy. I can't. Yep, that was the mailman. I don't see her smiling. She's always seriously grumpy and sad, and I don't. Man, didn't she get a psych evaluation to become an FBI officer? And then their direct supervisor, the other woman, she's too nice. She lets them get away with whatever they want to do. And it's just like, ugh. No, you're supposed to be a hard ass. You're supposed to be cracking down on your people, you know? Like Lethal Weapon was doing. And then they went and shot the main character because the other main character didn't like him. It's no longer Lethal Weapon. And so, yeah, their season is over, and I don't know if they've been renewed for a 4th. It's a different show now. And yeah, the new guy is okay. It's still kind of cool, but it's not Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon was Riggs. Yeah. So without Riggs, it's not Lethal Weapon. You know, I know, yes, Mel Gibson too was a pain in the butt. He was good in the movies. The Jew hater. Oh, but he was drunk, so he's not held responsible. Yes, he is, because when he was drunk, he let out his true feelings. That's why you don't get drunk. He's not suffering as an artist. There's no reason to go out and drown your sorrows. And then do something stupid by drowning your sorrows. I forgot to put my own thumbs up on this one. ABC 4 News catching up. It's a straight 4 down. Okay, now we've got it. Oops. Okay, and then here's the red alert. You love that sound, all 46 of you who have seen it. 2 of you didn't. And that's where I said, oranges, remember the oranges. And then Trump later that day, oranges. And so this morning's video, which we will count in this count, even though it's been 5 hours ago, and 2, because this is political. We shouldn't do political, so we should cancel out the 2. Okay, yep. Thanks for reminding me. These are political ones. Okay. But the Mormon comment replies, we're counting that one. So 29 and 2, so 420. All right, and what was it? 395. 20, 395 is 5, 2, 25. So we're getting back to the consistent amount of Russians who are trolling me and putting thumbs down. And no Mormon dares comment because they've been silenced because they're antichrists. You guys are projecting. I told you. And so they think, oh, well, I just won't criticize them then. And then I won't be guilty. You still are guilty because you haven't left the church. Remember, if you can't do it, you gotta leave. That's the deal, Mormons. You can't run and hide. You have to face this issue, like I did. When Reed Hammond said, hey, Book of Mormon's not the official doctrine of the church. You have to follow the prophet. And the prophet hasn't said it, so therefore it's not true. Even though I'm going to bring it up in the video about the de-evolution of the Mormon God, because it has to do with it. So, see, that could have been a dream too, because as a kindergartner, I remember meeting in a basement garage, and at the back of the garage there was a stand where I and all my kindergartner buddy pals from other places, so it must have been the whole of Miller High School or elementary school, we all sang that song. Sing, sing a song. And then we also sang some patriotic songs, and can't remember what they were, but I remember that. And I don't know if that was a dream, because I don't know where we would have been. I doubt that Miller Elementary School has a basement. I've seen the, maybe, I don't know, because usually they were parking the cars across from the baseball field over in the, so I don't know, because I think that's now subdivisions, so maybe they, I don't know. See, I don't know if it was a dream or if it actually happened. And conference, I remember going to another building for state conference, and that lines up with Michigan or California, where we had to go to a different place for state conference as well. So, yeah, were they dreams or were they reality? There's a song by that, isn't there? Is this a dream? Is this reality? Queen. Easy come, easy go. Is that Bohemian Rhapsody? Sesame Street did a Bohemian Rhapsody. There we go. There's the theme song. Okay. All right. So Sesame Street, Bohemian Rhapsody. And since I see that we're at an hour, hi MD. All right. We're done.